short video to show in a graphic way um, how I felt when I read the poem Fantasy by Fama. So it's just a string of thoughts that seem to have no connection with the other, but they're actually a part of something bigger. And it if we actually see the whole picture, we can see those dots connect as if it was a bigger constellation. So what I did is that I started browsing and I took screenshots of everything. I went from one page to the next one with little or no thought at all, but there actually is irrelevance from one to the next. And the train of thought is more like that no non-thought train of thought is actually a process that my mind did with little to no effort. And when we think about what the poem has to say about society, now we see how the author operates in a world of fantasy and glamour and the internet. And as we know, it was inspired in browsing. So we can see how everyone on the internet is connected, but there actually is a loneliness in the 21st century. And even though I want to make it seem as if it was in that way, it actually is. So we could say that even in that loneliness, there's intimacy through global connections that happen through the internet. Because I guess there are more intimate things, but one of the most intimate things we can do in the 21st century is actually confide in someone on the internet who we've never seen before. And even though there's a tone of struggle in the poem or a longing, we can actually relate to it because we're being adults in the 21st century. And we can see in this quote, um, it says, a fully enclosed private garden with direct access to the pool, hardwood floors, perfect light. I like, crave you. Doesn't it make you sad? Plans you had with different people and how it all can't come true. And we can see there how he goes from all this glamour to the loneliness that actually is to be an adult in the 21st century. Um, but I guess we can actually interpret this poem from our personal point of view. And the way I understood it was through dancing. So, through contemporary dancing, especially, because in contemporary dancing, you have all these movements that seem to be disconnected from one another and that are very abrupt. From you go to the floor, up and jump and down and roll. So, it would seem to me that the action of browsing that seems disconnected from one another that actually has some relevance, that actually is connected to one another. And the poem, how he goes from one thing to another that apparently has no, I don't know, connection or as if it was as if it, as if it as if there was no actual train of thought behind it. There actually is, because we're actually trained to see everything and to look for symbols and to try to interpret them from what we have as theory. But another way we could interpret it would be from our personal experience, and mine was through dancing. So I included clips of me and other friends dancing and a guy from YouTube. So there was this, you can see all the images going through of things I browsed, and I go from Instagram to Snapchat to BuzzFeed to whatever, and then there's like this small pause that lasts almost nothing of someone dancing with all of this strange abrupt moves that actually to me they represent the poem in a physical way, and you can actually, I don't know, act it out and you can feel it not only when you read it, but when you're trying to express it in not words, but in another scenario where you wouldn't be able to speak, but you would have to show what the poem is trying to provoke in you in a physical way. So, yeah, that's basically all I have to say about Ben Fama fantasy.